What's up, guys? Welcome to the Playbook Sports Podcast. Coming at you with another video today. As you've seen from our previous few videos, we have a new series out, NFL Scripts 2023-2024 season, brought to you by Roger Goodell himself. These are his words, not ours. Not ours. So if you have a problem with them, go holler at Raj for us. With great power comes great responsibility. As you know, Roger Goodell is the judge, jury, and executioner of the NFL. However, he did not trust all of us to have all of these scripts individually, so he's divvied up the 8 divisions amongst the 4 of us guys here on this podcast. He's given me the AFC South and the AFC East. So before we dive into this series and these divisions, Nate, let the people know who this podcast and this video today is brought to you by.
I want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their 2 things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video.
Thanks, Nate. As you guys can tell from the title below, we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans today and what Roger Goodell and the NFL have predicted in this script for the Houston Texans in the 2023-2024 NFL season. Let's start at the end. I like to see the end result first and then see what the journey looked like to get to that end result. Roger Goodell has the Houston Texans finishing 5-12 this season, finishing 1-5 in the AFC South, missing the playoffs. However, the one shining bright spot from the Houston Texans, of many potential bright spots, but the one for sure is their first ever Defensive Rookie of the Year. Will Anderson Jr. brings home the award, edge rusher out of Alabama, number 3 overall pick in the draft. First defensive player selected in the draft, 10.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 17 tackles for losses on the season. Pretty solid from a rookie, over 10 sacks. That's really, really impressive, adjusting to the NFL and the speed and the strength of the NFL tackles. So let's see, how do the Texans finish 5-12? How do they finish 1-5 in the South? Let's dive into it. September is rough. I'm not going to lie, Texans fans. Cover your eyes, plug your ears. September's going to be a tough one. Week 1, behind Daddy Davis Mills, they open in Baltimore against the Ravens, where they will fall drastically 34-16 and an absolute blowout in Baltimore week 1. Week 2, they come home to host division rival Indianapolis Colts, where they will fall yet again 23-17 behind Daddy Davis Mills still, and Gardner Minshew are going to battle it out, and we're going to be deprived of that rookie matchup for at least one matchup to start this year. 0-2 after 2 weeks, they see themselves in Jacksonville week 3, where they will fall yet again 28-17 behind Trevor Lawrence's efforts and Travis Etienne running all over this defense. 0-3 in September, tough start Texans, and it doesn't get much better to start October. Week 4, they come home where they will see the debut of CJ Stroud, the number 2 pick in the draft. Not a great opponent to start, as Pittsburgh is always stout defensively, great head coach defensively in Mike Tomlin. TJ Watt is normally healthy early in the season, at least. Tough one for the Texans here. Tough debut for CJ Stroud, and they fall 23-14 at home to the Steelers, moving to 0-4 on the season. Week 5, they go to Atlanta, where they yet again will suffer a 1-score defeat in Atlanta, 20-13, moving to 0-5 on the season, and there are question marks about trading that first-round pick next season. Week 6, they return home yet again to host the New Orleans Saints, where they will get their first win of the season, first win for CJ Stroud, 28-20 over the Saints in week 6. Week 7, they go into the bye week 1-5, not great. However, they just came off their first win, so they're riding high into the bye week. Week 6, they go to Carolina to face what Roger and myself agreeing to be a pretty feisty Carolina team this season. Head-to-head matchup between the number 1 and number 2 picks. Sees the number 1 pick edging out the number 2 pick with a 23-20 victory in Carolina for the Panthers over the Texans, moving the Texans to 1-6 on the season. 0-3 in September, 1-3 in October, 1-6 through 2 months, 1-6 through 7 games. Going into November, they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 9, where they will see another victory, 24-13 defensive effort, best defensive game out of DeMeco Ryans' new defensive unit. 2-6, they move into week 10, where they will visit Cincinnati, and this is the game you might just want to turn that TV off, just act like it never happened. However, it's only a 10-point loss, 31-21 in Cincinnati. Big old Joe Burrow 3-touchdown game. CJ Stroud does enough early to keep it competitive, but falls off at the end, and the Bengals exert themselves as one of the best teams in this league and win 31-21. Going into week 11, 2-7 record, they host the Cardinals in what might be the biggest game of the year for the Arizona Cardinals. Since they have that Houston Texan pick, obviously the Cardinals want to beat the Texans to make that pick better for themselves. However, they will fall 24-10 in an absolute beatdown in Houston. They will throttle the Cardinals, who I believe will not have Kyler Murray playing in this game, and Roger Goodell agrees with me. 3-7 after 10 games, moving into week 12, they will host the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, they will complete getting swept by the Jaguars. However, will be a very competitive 23-17 overtime game where they have the Jaguars on the ropes to end regulation, and they end up losing in overtime, moving to 3-8 on the season. 2-2 month in November, progressively seeing them get a little bit better. However, they're still 3-8 after 3 months, 3-8 after 12 weeks. Going into December, we see a touch of a slide here as the schedule gets a little tough in December. Week 13, they host the Denver Broncos behind Sean Payton, newly added, and Russell Wilson. Could be a much different Broncos team this season. They will fall in week 13, 28-16 at home to the Denver Broncos, moving to 3-9 on the season. Week 14, we see them travel to New York to face the Jets, where they will lose yet again 34-20 behind a big Breece Hall performance in New York, moving to 3-10 on the season for your Houston Texans. Week 15, they travel to Tennessee to fight for who's going to be last in the division with the Tennessee Titans, and they will lose that game and ultimately lose in the long run because they don't have a first-round pick this year. They will lose that game 23-16 in Tennessee, moving to 3-11 on the season. 0-3 to start December, and there are some questions being asked. However, it's a young team, young head coach. No changes are going to be made, no questions like that. Week 16, Merry Christmas, Houston. For as bad as it's been, 3-11, Roger Goodell is giving you a Christmas gift. They are giving you Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns in Houston on Christmas Eve, where the Houston Texans will take down Deshaun and win 27-21 in Houston on Christmas Eve. Suck it, Deshaun. Moving to 4-11 on the season. New Year's Eve, they host the Tennessee Titans, division rival. Well, they will win yet again, 2 straight, 20-14. First back-to-back winning streak for CJ Stroud. First back-to-back winning streak for this Houston Texan team. 5-11 going to Indianapolis in week 18. And they will lose in Indianapolis week 18, 24-17, moving to 5-12 on the season where they ended 5-12. Looking at that, I'd probably agree. There's a couple in there that I could see them winning. There's a couple in there I can see them losing. But I'd probably agree 5-12, 6-11, somewhere in that range. So do you agree with me? Do you agree with Roger? Let us know down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.